My sister's getting married, and so I'm on the I'm gonna be a bridesmaid diet, which means I haven't eaten a lot today, but I had a beer. Yay! This is gonna be lots of fun. Okay. So, my car got broken into a couple months ago, which sucked because everything that was in it got stolen, and that's a story for another time. But what happened is it's made me think about the time a couple years ago that my apartment got broken into. And so I've been playing this weird game in my head where I'm like, yeah, my car getting broken into really sucked, but it wasn't as bad as that time that my apartment got broken into. Or depending on the day, man, it's a really good thing that my car getting broken into, like my apartment getting broken into was like not even close to as bad as like all of my stuff getting taken. So I'm going to tell you the story, and then you can tell me afterwards which you think is worse. So it was the dead of winter a couple years ago, and I lived in an apartment just off of NDSU campus with largely international students, and they were not used to dead of winter in North Dakota. And so everyone had their heat on, and I don't like that at all. I'm the kind of person that like sleeps with my window open in the winter. And so all of this heat from everybody else was kind of like overpowering in my little tiny apartment. And so I started getting into the habit of sleeping as if I was not expecting company. Laura got it. Okay, so, and I woke up in the middle of the night one time. Now, all of the lights were on in my apartment. And in my brain, I immediately assumed that, because it's like in that February time slot, my apartment, like my lease wasn't getting renewed, and I was like, oh shit, I overslept and they're showing my apartment, and I am not ready for company. And so like I absolutely panicked, and I look up, and in my bright apartment is this guy standing over me, leaning down and looking at me. And I froze. And I did that thing where I made sure that everything was covered, and then I just like laid there. And I looked at him, and I said, who are you and what are you doing here? He's like, I'm Stevie. I'm gonna say here, it's important for you to know, because it will come up later, this is not at all representative of his voice, but it's my dumb thug voice, and so I'm sticking with it, and you're gonna roll with it. I'm Stevie. Okay, who are you and what are you doing here? And I'm like frozen, like not moving at all. I also am legally blind without my glasses on. So I can't really see him. I can tell his general outline and like see the basic like picture, but like really there's not much definition at all. And I'm not moving to put on my glasses because we are staying still. I'm Stevie. I get that. Who are you and what are you doing in my apartment? We met at the motherfucking Empire. No. Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm Stevie. We met at the motherfucking Empire. No, I have never been to the Empire. I do not know how you got in here. Well, you gave me your key at the motherfucking Empire. I'm Stevie, don't you remember me? No! You don't have a key to my apartment. Only 2 people have keys to my apartment. That is my sister and my brother, and you are none of those people. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm Stevie. I get that. You are gonna go right now. Okay. Okay, and he starts backing out very like, I'm the one who's being unreasonable in this situation. And he starts backing away. I'm really sorry, I'm scared of you. I'm sorry. I'm Stevie. And he like backs out of my bedroom door and just books it out of my apartment. And I sit up and I, make myself more appropriately dressed. And I run around my apartment. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And all of my cupboards are open. All of the lights are on. The door to my apartment is still open, and my cat is gone. So now I have to run around outside. It's blizzarding out, and I have to run around in the building trying to find my cat. And she's an escape artist, or she was, little fucker. And so she's made it outside. And she's sitting on the step in the cold, like looking at me like, what'd you do to me? I was like, this is not my fault, bitch. And I pick her up and I take her inside and I set her down and I sit on my couch and I'm like, did that just happen? I think that just happened. And I start to like doing that thing where when you're not entirely cognizant of the situation where you convince yourself that it didn't happen. I'm like, And so I opened my computer because he didn't take anything. Like my computer was there, my phone was still there, my Nook was still there, my high quality printer was still there. Like he did not take anything. So there's that. And so I open up my computer and I open up Facebook and it's like 2:00 in the morning or something like that. And I have a couple friends on. I'm like, hey, can I talk to you really quickly? My apartment got broken into and I just need to talk about it. And both of those people say, oh, that sucks. Did you call the police? Oh, yeah. That's the thing that I should be doing. So I, call the police. And they come and they're talking to me. And I say, I don't have a good description of the guy. Because I wasn't wearing my glasses and I couldn't really see him. But he was probably of average height. He was kind of broad, kind of chunky, Caucasian-ish, but I couldn't really tell. He was wearing black with like a zip-up hoodie, and the t-shirt underneath was like black with white graphic print. He was a tenor. See, and that's where it comes in where like my voice is not at all representative, but you're gonna roll with it. And I say he was a tenor, and the police officer just looks at me and goes, what does that mean? Well, a tenor. High voice, childish. A tenor. I couldn't see him. And as the police officer says, and he's like, he takes all of this in. He says, we're probably not gonna find him because it's been a while since this happened. It's snowing outside, so we don't even have any tracks to follow. But, they're going to follow up on it and all of that. They say, do you have anybody that you want to talk, that you want to come, like either stay with or have them come stay with you? And I say, well, I was talking to my friends on Facebook, but they're not responding anymore. So I think they must have gone to bed and I don't want to bother anybody. And he looks at me, he says, well, what about your sister? And I'm like, well, I don't want to wake her up. I don't want to bother her. He says, I think that she wouldn't mind if you bothered her in this situation. And as I'm telling the story, as the time goes by, and I think back on that, I go, how does he know I have a sister? Like, that's weird to me. I must have told him, but I don't remember telling him. But that's weird, right? Then he goes, well, what about your sister? And so I call my younger sister, and she comes and she picks me up. And as we're driving home, or back to her apartment, and she doesn't know how to handle this situation. I don't know how to handle this situation, and I'm 2 years older than her. And she just keeps looking at me, and I'm starting to lose it. Like, everything is fraying, and I'm sitting in her car, and I'm shaking. And we get back to her apartment, and she says, can I do anything? Can I make you a grilled cheese sandwich? And that's how I know she's my mother. And I say, sure, that's fine. And I sit down on her couch and I open up my giant theater history textbook because I have a midterm the next day. And I start to flip through it and study. And she goes, what are you doing? I was like, I have a midterm. I have to study. I was going to get up in a couple hours anyway, so I might as well just study now. She goes, Rachel, you need to go to sleep. No, I have to study. Rachel, I'm sure that Dr. Paul will let you skip this test or reschedule. Claire, you know Dr. Paul. He's not going to let me reschedule. I have to study. And it takes her a solid 45 minutes to convince me that I can put the textbook away and actually try to get some sleep, because I'm not good under pressure, I'm discovering. Because all of that stuff, like the things that you're supposed to do, just go, and I become focused on really ridiculous things. I still made her drive me to my 8 o'clock class. Yeah, and like to this day, I don't know, nobody knows who the guy was. I know his name was Stevie. He's a tenor. He hangs out at the motherfucking Empire. So if anybody's ever seen him, that'd be cool. I mean, I'd like to know how he got a key to my apartment. That'd be nice. Anyway, that's my story of not sleeping. Thanks.